You're a mess.
Always.
Here we are. What's happening? We're back. We are back. I'm going to leave that there, so I don't need it.
Somewhere different.
Yeah?
It's very clinical.
Yeah. Wasn't the plan this time round. Initially, we're going to shoot outside.
But it was really bad rain, pretty much. It wasn't even so much the rain, it was the wind.
Yeah.
And then you were like, oh, let's take shelter. But even, I think shelter would have been horrific.
Yeah,
would have been
horrible.
Cool.
So, I'm finished that. That's become a prop again. You know?
We're always drinking at the start of these.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
All of two. It takes so long to get to this point that...
Did we do that last time?
Yeah, and we finished the drink as well. So I'm just going to pop outside as well.
Okay, cool.
So there you go.
Alright guys, so what is happening? Welcome back to the Vodcast. Here with Dylan and Mark. We never sit the right way around.
No, it's Mark and Dylan. Anyway,
yep.
Welcome back. This is the MD Vodcast.
Yeah. Alright, so first off, I think it would be wrong not to give thanks, I guess, to all the I don't know about you, but the support for an intro video was really encouraging. If anything, I think we decided we were going to put it out over all of the mediums.
Yeah.
And it was really well received, and everyone was messaging when's the next one, and giving us their 2Ps of when we should do this. I was like, a month's too long, and it gets you. But anyway, it's irrelevant. Thank you all very much for the support.
It was amazing to get the feedback on all the vertical stuff as well, especially considering we weren't really sure how well it would work out. But it seems to be that most people consumed it vertically, and then YouTube and Anchor.
And the big surprise one for me was the podcast, the audio.
Yeah.
I didn't even think that would even happen. I think everyone was but the amount of people that said they listened to it was unreal. So thank you.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Thank you all very much. Appreciate it. So today, we thought we would elaborate a little bit more about what we do. So last week we tapped into the concept of how we met through Instagram stories and all that sort of stuff. So we thought, well, the best thing to do next for us would just be to elaborate more on Instagram stories.
Yeah, how we approach our stories, and maybe it'll give you a bit of an insight into something new to approach yours, because we put sometimes too much thought into them. I definitely do. Well, I know you do.
Yeah, for sure. Instagram stories are the bit that we feel that a lot of people miss out on, and that we struggle with at the start, and sometimes you still fall into that trap, is that word stories. Remembering right at the start, every single time, that word story is key. It's there, it's in the title, and so many of us forget it. And I don't know about you, but I find myself sometimes getting so fixated on the technique side of it and the quality side that sometimes you just forget to put that story in that. So that is something that Mark and I really work hard on, is make sure that there's always a story and a narrative in the content we push out.
Yeah, people always say, oh, they really like your stories, or how do you do this and how do you do that? But nobody focuses. All I ever say back is the same thing. Yeah. Just do it your way. Just make sure the subject of what you're doing, and make it a cool story. Make it something that somebody would want to watch, whether it's entertainment or giving somebody value. Yeah. You say that all the time.
Well, yeah, and if value is exactly. If it was a book, it would be like the equivalent of people concentrating too much on what the cover is going to be made from, what the artwork's going to look like, what the density of the paper is they're going to be printing on. Where really it's don't worry about that stuff. What are you writing? What is happening? What's the consumer reading? So we decided what we would do is create a story today, something short, something easy, something simple. And we'd let's try and merge our stories together and make one between us. So that's where we got the coffee, and this is the story. So Mark and I are filming another episode of the Vodcast today. So we're doing it at his house for a change, but I said to him, first of all, we need to go get a coffee, so I'm picking him up. Yo, what's up, dude? Ready to go?
Okay, so there is a cool coffee shop not too far from where I live. Dylan's been before, I haven't, but we'll go and check it out.
So these guys do really, really nice, hand pressed coffee. I've been telling Mark about for ages, and they're really... It's closed. I think it's... Oh, it's 8:20 at night. That's probably why. So, what are we going to do now?
Oh, I know. Now all I need is my coffee.
Dude, you're supposed to be filming this podcast.
Yep.
Oh, Christ.
Let's go. Yes, good.
You're a mess.
Always.
Here we are.
Cheers, sir.
Good work.
Good work. Enjoyed that. So anyway, that was our story that we there was a bit missing from that right in the middle that we kind of panicked and then forgot to film, and effectively I drove my car off
A wall?
a wall.
It was effectively a wall.
Yeah, and it got caught. The wall was about that high.
And I thought like it was coming up through this, it was
Yeah.
really funny.
It was one of those things where I was like, I was like, we should story this now, but like I was shitting my pants a bit.
Do you know what
because
I
my
find
car
even-
was just hanging off the edge.
Do you know what I find even weirder? Well, like when I was like on the front of your car, like putting weight on it, there was just this Chinese guy carrying a bag of chips.
Yeah, I saw that. Just through a car park, like
He
a
was just
big
like,
bag
but he
of
was like
chips.
looking at us the whole time, like I think they need help,
Yeah.
but these chips are more important.
Yeah,
Forget about it.
Yeah, I would help them, but let me pop these in the fryer quickly. So there you go. That was our story, and it was interesting. That's the first time Mark and I we've never made a story like that together.
We've done YouTube videos.
We've done YouTube videos, but we've never built one story with one camera and planned it so much for something so fickle.
And it's yeah, it was weird having like stuff that I would do. I don't know, like you kind of naturally did the same kind of stuff,
Yeah.
like the same sort of thought. You can see like a bit of like behind the scenes, and like it takes a lot of work to make the 15 seconds, like, and I think that's the bit. Are you just pulling the wheel up? No. Are you taking that off, dude?
Yeah. In the way of this Instagram video.
So we need to go back up to there.
But if we front pass, I step out, you step out, turn around, and walk up that way.
Shit, this is gonna be tough. It's gonna need to be from this angle here. Blah blah blah. Knock on the door. When I flip round, I'm like, written that all down. By the way, that's the plan. That's done. That's there. Never worry yourselves about it. It's in the black book now, right there.
I always compare it to whenever you think of when Instagram started. We've had this conversation, like when Instagram first started,
Yeah.
it was all dross pictures, they were all really, really bad.
Yeah.
And then everybody just kind of, all of a sudden, photographers took the forefront and photos became amazing, and all of a sudden it was not cool to post a selfie with a bunny filter.
Yeah.
It wasn't good.
Yeah.
it had to be great.
Still done these days. But
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Not
Less said,
who are we
better.
to judge?
Yeah, but like stories, I think, is going the same way. You're starting to see more quality coming through. People spending a bit more time, and I think it's great. And you can see like the effort that like we were going to, like it was ridiculous. We're in like puddles and
Yeah.
stuff, but we're like setting up the camera, reversing the car back, coming
Yeah.
back in, and it's all for 15 seconds.
Yeah.
But again, that's the idea, is that you're kind of telling a story. We were going to get a coffee.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
and I think that's the important bit. Is we said at the very, very start, we're going to get a coffee. The coffee featured not that much.
Yeah.
It's how we went to get it.
Yeah.
Does that make
There
sense?
was a start, there was a middle, there was an end. You
Yeah.
know, and it ended up with us with a coffee, which was the goal. Now, the bit that's quite interesting, I think, with a lot of this sort of stuff, this is where I find a lot of people struggle. This is where they stop doing stories or they give up or whatever that is because there's two ways to do stories, and it's based on what Gary Vee says, which is that document versus create. On one hand, you can document what you're doing, and that's kind of what the bulk of my stories would be, just
Yeah.
a nice, jazzed up documentation of what I do, and then the other hand is create. But that creation is the bit that's fun, and that creation is the bit that I'm trying to bring more into my stories. What you're effectively doing is making a movie. So I think we're beyond that concept of Instagram just being, oh hey, I'm farting around here doing such and such. You know, we've seen that. People have done that stuff before. But where Instagram stories is now is more of a, well, make me a movie. You don't just show me what you're currently doing. I can see you doing it.
Like Casey did for vlogs. It's now not acceptable to just have a point to shoot.
Yeah.
Now it has to have music and it has to have all the thing. The production goes up.
Yeah.
And again, why he's so good, but he's just really good at vlogs.
No, he is. But he basically just lifted the whole standard, and it's like now the base standard is that. And if you do it like that, it's like, well, that's not acceptable.
So if you're on that basis, right, this would be interesting to know, because I have mine. If you're watching a story, like, okay, so you're talking like all the stuff that you would go through, who would you watch and go, that's pretty intense?
Well, I'm a big fan of Ryan Say, who is a friend of mine now, but I only know Ryan through Instagram, and literally that is a relationship It is now a friend relationship and a professional relationship that's been built straight through Instagram. And it's just because he puts time and effort into his videos. They're funny stories, they're kind of dry and sarcastic. They're just interesting because he takes that filmmaker approach to it. And I think that's kind of what differentiates him from a bunch of other people. What the other guy I've been watching a lot of is a guy called Dunna did it. And
is this the guy you showed me one time? He's like walking through like an airport, and it's like filling behind him, like on a rope, like a escalator, a plane.
Oh yeah, no.
He
does YouTube videos. It's a guy called Jake Fruit.
He was unreal.
He makes very cool videos, YouTube style videos, but he brings them into his Instagram stories.
Right,
so when he does Instagram stories, very, very cool. He just doesn't do them a lot, but they're very cinematic.
So was his like YouTube cut down?
Yeah, but he does film two styles. He's sort of vertical and a horizontal version,
gotcha.
but like he just brings it. It's more of a trailer. But Dunna does the same sort of stuff. But Dunna does a lot of like tutorial videos and kit videos on YouTube. But he started using IGTV especially and his stories to send you off to YouTube. But he does it in a nice way. He doesn't just. It's not just a hey, go to YouTube. It's he creates a little bit of content set vertically and he puts a bit of effort into it. And I always just kind of, I appreciate that. I appreciate that I'm like, you want me to leave here to go there and watch, and you've actually gone to the effort to create content for the platform I'm on, so I applaud that.
Yeah.
What about yourself?
I really like Ryan. I don't know Ryan at all, but I know him a lot through Instagram. I feel like, I think if he walked in here now, he could like, we could just like, anyway. I go really weird. Like I'll go really too far into the spectrum. So I'll have the person I'll watch who really impresses me. Obviously Jesse Driftwood. You can't talk about stories like talking Jesse Driftwood, but that's for another podcast. There's a guy who was actually shouted out on Jesse's channel for making the same. You did it. The coffee. You know the coffee one that you went up telling me.
Yeah.
He did it, and he was one of the guys that was shouted out.
Okay.
Who. I'll tell you don't know that. Do you follow him?
I don't know who he is.
It's Will Carmack.
Oh yeah.
Right. So this guy essentially made a video for Jesse Driftwood, and what he did was he got an empty coffee jar with coffee beans in it, and he just lifted it and it turned into coffee.
Yeah.
Right. Really short, really smart. It's like whoa, he got a shout out. He then went from I think he had 2,000 followers, right? And he does a lot of masking. So he does a lot of there's an art guard called Leah Motion who does the same kind of thing, but he introduces he'll be talking to himself, and then another person will come in and he does all the shirt pulls and all the tricks. They're very, very effective. He then total side note, he then was the Yes Theory guys was I'm coming out to LA, I would love a job. And then he made this whole YouTube thing, and he's now out in LA with the Yes Theory guys.
That's insane.
And he's blew up. He's just blew up. But his stuff is overkill. Yeah. But it's really good. It's overkill, but he's got a good character and he presents it very well. Yeah. Which I think that's why I go the other way. Yeah. Who's someone who puts no production at all into their stuff. Someone like Colin Gaddis. Yeah. Who is just funny.
It's like Terrell. There's a guy here in Northern Ireland called Terrell. He's a PT, and he does a thing called Transformation Kid. Yeah. And he's brought it over from Snapchat, but he does it so well on Instagram. And he effectively has people in his studio, and he's working on them, personal trainer stuff, and he's essentially ripping the piss out of them while he's training them. Right. Okay. And he walks around in a Batman mask, and he did this story once, and there was a girl on a treadmill, and she was giving it so much effort, and he was shouting at her come on. In the next clip, he just walks up to her, and he's just got a plate of chicken drumsticks in his hand, and she's running on his treadmill, and he's just eating chicken drumsticks.
Where's he from here?
He's from here, yeah. And Ballymena, up in towards Ballymena direction. But he's just standing eating chicken drumsticks, but he just films himself, and she's in the background, so he's telling her to do his exercise, and he's eating chicken drumsticks. And it's the other end of the spectrum. He's not about production, he's just about humour, and he gets good business out of it, so it works for him.
That story we were doing, and with the coffee cup, that is my sense of humour. I love all the tricks and all the stuff, but I like addressing sometimes just how ridiculous it is. Do you know what I mean?
No, you're right.
I think we can get caught up.
And I think we learned to do all the trickery stuff. The trickery stuff is great, and it is cool. It's good fun.
It just gets your attention.
I like doing it, but it's disruptive. It's the reason it's there is to go boom. I've changed clothes, or I've changed scene, and the whole idea is the viewer goes, whoa, what?
Yeah, but again, it's if your whole story is about doing tricks. Yeah. Do you not think there's some guys out there who do really good cinematography, really good stuff, but sometimes it can just go nowhere? Yeah. So get what you're doing. Like, you'll watch like behind the scenes of us doing it. Like, we stewed and worked out that whole story that you watch. As bad as it may be, we worked out that whole story from start to finish, standing here before we went and did it. Get what you're doing, and I think that's what we're both trying to say.
Like Mark and I, when we did this story, we approached it together the same way as we would if we were doing it solo, and it was a little bit of thought. And it's not like it's not false or it's not fake. It is real, but it's partially scripted, a little bit of storyboarded. Not so much scripted. All the talking's normal, but the storyboarding in our head. So the concept is that right, this is what we need to do. We need to enter the scene, exit the scene. We need to switch. We need to transition between it. What's our viewer going to see? You have to understand that consumer, that viewer story. What are they doing? Where are they going? So if you do something that upsets them in a weird way, and I don't mean like say something to annoy them. I mean like if you swoosh into your t-shirt and then you swoosh out, it needs to make sense. It can't you can't swoosh into your chest and come out on a chicken goujon and just be like, brilliant. What was the point?
Switch into your shirt and just bring it back out and say the same thing from the same spot. Like, it is. It's just structuring the story. Get what is in your head. Like, ours was about going to get coffee, but we never focused on the coffee. It was the journey of what we were doing, and just so when you're watching, like, they're going to get coffee, I'm going to watch a journey of going to get coffee. So you're not focusing on 50 angles of a coffee cup. You get it. You said it.
And that's cool. 50 angles of a coffee cup is cool the first time you do it. But then, like, I don't know you, but I don't know how many times I film myself making coffee and I'm like, I think
it's a rite of passage. It's something I've never done. It's something I've never done. Anytime I make a reference to coffee, I always make a joke out of it. Like, I'm going to make coffee and it's just me buying it in Greg's or somewhere.
No, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's a rite of passage.
So when you do your stories, your daily stuff, what's your general approach? Like, when you get up in the morning, how does a story fit into your day? Like, are you straight out of bed like, boom, it's time for a story, watch shot one, or are you just like dragging your ass out of bed and then like not thinking about the story until something happens?
I'll have thought about it. I'll have something. I kind of always set it up that if something happens, it fits.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I go to work full time, and then I'm thinking on my lunch, how can I make a story on my lunch that then will fit in with me going home, that you're not watching me just going on my lunch and going home.
Yeah.
So then that's when I'll do something. If I've got a day where it's really dull or really boring, like you're saying, like, you know, that content first, document first creation, I'll then create something funny. Yeah. That is,
like the ones you've been doing recently with the rain, where like you made that one where you were going to go out and then you just ended up and it was back.
Yeah, but that's
sort of day when you're like, there's not much going on.
Exactly. But the funny thing was, I was doing something really interesting.
Yeah.
I just was like, this would just be funnier. So it just depends. But I don't do like what sometimes I would do what you're doing. I've got a really cool day. A lot of people have been asking me to do more, like document what's happening, and the hustle. You know what I mean? People have to show you the hustle,
the grind,
but whatever. Because mine's not really that interesting. Like just me sitting in work.
And work is hard. I struggled like that when I worked full time.
So you did it the other way. You fitted it into lunch.
Yeah, well, when I used to work full time. When I did that, I used to story on the way to work. I love it. That's become a thing now. I storied. Are you storying now?
Or do you know what else? Do you know what gets me?
You come in for lunch. No, I've got a story.
Do you know what else? The other one that gets me when I hear, I don't know why. Like it doesn't, and it's not even like it's that big a deal. But do you ever have like whenever? All right, guys, just jumped on here.
Oh, yes.
I just jumped on.
Which is grand if you hadn't been on in like a month and you jumped on to say, I won the lottery, I'm moving to Mauritius. But it's like, just jumped on to tell you I'm having cornflakes. I don't care.
I just jumped on to show you my shirt.
Yeah.
You're like, no.
Yeah, just bounced on here real quick.
Just bounced on here. It's like, you know what I mean? Yeah. You might as well do that with the set camera and go, oh, you're there? Yeah. I didn't realise.
Yeah.
Just thought I would jump on. Show you my stripe and chat combination.
Yeah. which is grand again if you're a fashion blogger, if that's what you're doing.
No, but it's just that half-assed.
I jumped on thing. It's just like I suppose that comes from the fact that a lot of people feel uncomfortable in doing it, and especially like here in Northern Ireland, where anyone that does something like that and puts themselves out in that respect,
like us in McDonald's,
everybody immediately goes, who do they think they are? Do you think you're better than us so you can put yourself out on social media? Like we did that bit in McDonald's in that story, and there was a bunch of bros behind us. And I was like, you have to sing, by the way. You've got to do the do-do-do-do.
But just as we were saying it, more people
was coming. And then we cocked up take one and had to do it again. Yeah. He was like...
I was already sweating.
Yeah, and it's like you can do stuff, but the minute you set it up like that... So I think people feel uncomfortable with that, so they do something casual. I mean, I do it as well. I purposely make a fool out of myself so that others can't. That's kind of a technique you have to use. It's like, so when someone going, oh, I just jumped on to tell you this, that's them effectively kind of not 100% committing, because if it fails, it doesn't matter, because sure, they just jumped on.
I suppose it's like Peter McKinnon's What's Up, everything. It just breaks you in, and here we go.
His thing is different. His is energy. Like, and I think that's why, like, my wife always gives me a hard time for jumping into stories. Like, and I've done them forever. Like, just jump in, and she's like, "You look like an idiot." I'm like, "Yeah, but that sets me up." Like, I don't know about you, but like, someone was talking the other day about people panning off from their chest and how annoying that is. I'm like, yeah, it is annoying, but doing that, you can't just start a story with you like this.
No.
All right, what's happening? Because, I mean, you can, but that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So by doing that, that motion relaxes you. That jumping in makes you go, that's that whole bang, I'm here. Whoa,
but if you're walking down the street and you've just got a camera in front of your face, but if you do a motion, everybody knows kind of what's happening. In my head, I think they'll know what I'm doing if I do this.
Yeah.
Or if I do up to the camera, they know what that's YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They kind of just get it.
And you think, like, whenever you see yourself in someone else's story, I don't know about you, but whenever I'm in someone else's story, even that one we filmed there today, if you go back and watch the bit where you open a door and I'm standing there, I look like deer in the headlights.
No, you're not. Do you know what you?
I'm like,
do you know what? Yeah, you
I
feel
look like me.
Do you ever do? Do you ever play like? Have you ever done a gig like music?
No.
Right? Have you not? Do you not play any instruments?
No. I play the bongo drums.
Oh man, how could you be from South Africa and not play like even
bongo
the
drums? South African, one of those ones under your arm. I should know what that's called. Marimbas, maybe? No, I don't play any instruments. But not well.
I play drums, and if you're a drummer, you'll get this. Stepping out from behind a kit and standing with a guitar, singing. It's like, alien, you're like, what am I doing? I need everything around me. You know, that kind of thing.
Because you literally open that door, like I watched the clip back and I was like, what an idiot.
You're like
I'm like this. Alright? Like, I don't know. Like, and like, if I could literally walk down the street like, boom, what's happening? I'm doing this. I'm super excited. I got a glass of milk. And then I could give that camera to someone. They could be like, yo, Dill, what you got? I'd be like, yeah, just milk. You know, I'm like, I don't know what to do now because I haven't got control of the camera.
Cup of that white liquid.
Yeah, just jumped on the milk. So I think that's why it's like the concept of doing that just gives you that relaxation of, hey, this is me, I'm in control.
Because even on a more practical note, if you're filming it in front of yourself, it's easy. I think doing, like, again, the trickery or moving it in or something like that, you've now got a camera in front of your face. You're in public, people are watching you. It's your go-to. It's your go-to. It's
the easiest. Like, oh shit, someone's there.
Exactly.
I know you mean. And I think like, but again, all those bits come if you plan that stuff. Like, and you know what your story is. So like we were talking about there, about when you get up in the day. So when I get up in the morning, I'd like, some days I just roll out of bed, ready to story. You know, just like boom, this is it. I'm owning it today. And then I create something kind of mediocre. And there's other days I could get to like 3 o'clock in the afternoon and just be like, I haven't done a story. Like, what am I going to do today?
But do you get like...
And then people message me like, Dill.
No, but are you like...
Where's the story, bro?
Would you get like... is it in your head that you have to do this every day?
Yeah.
Really?
I said it in I've done it every single day for a year and a half. Every day I've done a story for a year and a half.
So
I haven't taken a break.
Really?
And I don't... Like, I know you took a break the other day.
I was like... It was a week, 2 weeks. Maybe?
But like, if I took a break, I would just not bother again. Like, I'm that lax, so I'd be like, I'll take a break, and then I'll be like, well, sure, I've taken a week's break. What's a month's break? So I'm like, do it every day, bro. Every day, bro.
Jesus,
where are we going with this? But like, you know, I have done it every day. So when I get up, I'm like, story. I need a story. I need to have a story up. Like,
so So I'm different. See the days where I didn't do where I never upload anything.
Yeah.
I have made a story. I just didn't upload it.
See why?
So I'll have filmed the whole half a story. In fact, some of the quicker stories that I put together, because I used to edit all of them on my computer using this camera.
Okay.
And then I now do them on my phone with another app, but that's another thing altogether. But whenever I was doing now on my phone, a lot of the clips that I'll use, if you go back and look at them, which they're not there now, like it went from like cloudy to sunny because I did them over like 4 days.
Right.
So I would I always create something. I don't finish it or upload it.
Yeah.
I just, again, probably another Vodcast is talking about taking a break.
Yeah. No, you're right. But like, do you know what? It's totally fine. Like some people operate well, some people don't. I like the challenge of having to do it every day.
Yeah, and again, it's not storying for it's storying. We're coming up with all these things. It's not making a story for the sake of making a story.
No.
Do you not think?
No, it's not. And this is where I think the documentation versus creation is super, super important, because I think like most days I just document what I'm doing, and it's kind of become part of my routine now. It's just like boom, 2 seconds, pop that camera out, do a little bit, just jumped on to show you what I'm doing. Did that a couple of times, but then on the days where I'm like, oh, I haven't got anything, what I find is those days where I'm feeling demotivated, I go and make something. And for me, that's where the creation comes in. And that's what inspires me. I'm like, okay, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I haven't done a story, what am I going to do? So that means I either make something cool, or I'm like, right, I'm going to go ride my bike and do a sequence of me riding my bike to go get a beer. Or I'm like, right, I'm going to tell people a story. So like the other day, I was halfway through the day and I like hadn't done anything. It's like 2 or 3 days ago, 4 o'clock. And I was like, I haven't done a story, what am I going to do? And I was like, I'm going to make a hot chocolate. But damned if I'm talking about this hot chocolate. So I'm going to explain something. And I'd been editing this video for my mate who was just being a real pain in the ass at the time with the video edit. So I was like, I'm going to tell people the story of my mate and me working on this video. Yeah. And I'm going to make a hot chocolate. So all the sequences, all the transitions were there. They weren't addressed. They weren't like in front. They just happened. And it was like every transition was planned out. That whole story was planned out. And I just talked my story through. Yeah. And then at the end of it, I sat down and I was like, oh, I've got a hot chocolate, by the way. And at the end of that hot chocolate thing, I mentioned having a bath. And then the minute I mentioned having a bath, I just got inundated with like direct messages, people going, please film a bath scene. And I was like, okay, let's film a bath scene. So then I got the actual camera out and I recruited my wife and I was like, I need you to film a couple of provocative shots of me having a bath. And that's where it came from. The towel drop, exactly. So anyway, I was just making stories like, I don't know, for the sake, I think that's just, it's learning when to make a story for the sake of it, and also knowing like, right, if you haven't filled that space, it's time to create a story for the day. Yeah, so not just being like, I'm just going to film a really boring day. Yeah. And just actually film a really boring day. Yeah. Like what value are you giving someone? Yeah. Like, so on those boring days, you've got to make it exciting, and it's like, okay, I'm going to do a really awesome video all about how cool puddles are, how much fun they are to play in. Or address the really boring day and make it funny. Yeah. I think like Mark does that with a lot of flat humour. Yeah. I do jokes for myself. Yeah. Like what I would laugh at. Yeah. And it's always mocking. Yeah, yeah. And it's good using other people for stuff like that. Like I bring my wife into things like that when it's kind of boring, she'll just do something in the background, just because her natural reaction is always brilliant to something I'm doing. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's been good. This is the 3rd time we have done the outro bit of this video because the camera's stopped recording after. Do you know what it is? We have so much friggin' stuff here. There's too many buttons. Like, do you know what I'm gonna? You know what I'm half. One of the lights is gonna go on. I'm half expected. Yeah, just. yeah, the camera to fall over. And like we go outside and your car's on fire after. Yeah, it's ridiculous. There's 3 cameras and an H4 and then 2 lights, and we got to make sure they're all anyway. All a learning curve, but yeah, that was really good. I hope we that's it. I hope you enjoyed the show today. If there's anything of any interest in the show that you want to pinpoint or pick out or ask any questions, throw it in the comment section. Yeah, definitely, like interact. I think that's the thing. It could be. This is just us 2 in a room for the 3rd time talking. Yeah. But like, no, this is us just talking, and it would make more sense if everybody kind of talked too. So. Yeah, like interact with it. Let's do that. Leave some comments of it. Anyone that you like who's doing Instagram stories or IGTV. These things are very similar. Drop some names into the comment section. We'll put the guys in who we've talked about in the description here. But drop some names in. Let's see what we think. The whole point is to open this up so we can talk to each 100%. Other and share, because that's what we want to sort of start to create this community. We've got some big plans for this channel. So if there's anything you'd like to see us do or anyone you'd like to see us talk to, just mention it, because there's no place too far, no bridge too wide. That's not working. But you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Right? Remember back when I talked about if you ever done music? Yeah. I understand it now. Let's not seclude this to the island of Ireland. Let's think bigger. Yeah. Because we're going to be doing some stuff with the Power Video event this year, and we've got some plans to do some pretty fun stuff there. So if there's anyone you'd like to see in it in the future, or if you want to be in it for some sort of reason, space right here between the 2 of us, right? We can dab together, all 3 of us. Yeah, let's do it. But yeah, that's really the end of this podcast. I think we haven't really settled on if we're going to do this every month or every 2 weeks or whatever it is. When we said every month, the feedback was absolutely not. That is horrendous. Yeah. But a bit of background. It's taken us 7 years to film this episode. Yeah.
Yeah, my God. No, it's actually just he works a lot. I work full time. We both do our own thing. It's just trying to fit it in where it doesn't become a burden. I think it's most important.
I think we'd like to get it to 2 weeks, and that would be ideal.
Oh,
Maybe 2 weeks would be great.
What I would really love is the demand to do it every week, and we could fit it in and do it every week.
And if you've listened this far, because this is quite a long episode, so if you've listened this far and you're like, you know what, lads, I'll listen to you chat nonsense again, then let us know, because if you guys are happy to listen to this, we are more than happy to sit and waffle
100%.
bollocks.
Yeah, it's obviously if everyone wants it like every week, I'd definitely be up for it.
Yeah.
No
And if you're
problem.
going to take one thing away from this episode today, it's the term grandmother.
Grandmother.
Is that a hashtag? I'm going to search that. Is that... Or is
Yeah,
that I mean, it could exist, but I feel like I just made it up.
Do we do that cool thing? If you've made it this far, comment below grandmother.
Yeah.
Is that really just rare?
No, it's just...
Is it the fact that I just said is that rare? That's rare.
Yeah, that is rare. Will we end on floss?
No, we're not doing a floss again.
Okay, so anyway, that's it from myself and the Bearded Wonder.
Yep, and it's same for myself and the non-bearded, the effort.
Grown a neck beard. Can you see it?
Want some oil?
Yeah, just a little bit there. Just gonna get. Anyway, I need some water because I haven't drank in an hour. I'm starting to.
Right.
And then I need some oil for the car that we've destroyed, and I need to drop me off at the MOT centre. So we'll do that.
Cool. So that's us.
Yeah.
Goodbye. We don't know how to end this yet.
Yeah.
We will work it out as we go, but we're not gonna. I don't know. Is there a formal ending?
Yeah.
Just
me. Just me.
Done your own.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks very much for watching.
Bye.
Now was that recording?
Please God. Yeah, mine's definitely recording. We kind of talked about it, like how we both approach stories. So like, we could just like have a generalized conversation of what do you think?
The outro is being filmed again because we're a pair of idiots and we finally cocked that up.
Yeah.